be run has to be indented by a tab or spaces. I recommend you use a tab because if you hit the tab key and it goes over here, and then on the next line you use spaces, it'll complain. It'll say, you have a combination of tabs and spaces. So you gotta keep them, whatever you use, you have to do it throughout. So just use a tab, it's simpler, right? So everything that's indented with a tab is gonna get run if number one is equivalent to number two. And in this case, all we're doing is printing number one is equal to number two. So this is called just an if statement, and everything that's indented is called the scope. So it would be if some condition is true, whatever that is, colon, then I'm going to write this as a tab. These are going to be your statements. Okay, you can have multiple statements, all separated or all indented by tabs. So this is an if statement. Well, we could actually, if then, like that, if then. The colon really means then. You could interpret this as saying, here we go, we got it. If this is true, then execute all these statements that are indented. Okay, so that's all we're doing right here. This is an if-then statement. We can have an if-then-else like this. If we say if some condition is true, then we do statement, else, colon, a different statement. So this is an if then else. So the ifs have to line up right here. These things have to line up, and these statements have to line up, or it won't work. So it's saying whatever condition is true. So we're comparing numbers, right? Remember I said these comparison statements evaluate to true or false. So if this is true, we do this. If it's true, we do this. If it's true, we do this. True, true, true. So all these are just if-thens. We don't have any if-then-elses in this little assignment. And I think when I copied this and pasted it, I think I ended right here at 18. I don't think it took the whole thing. So there's a few more. It's checking less than, equal, less than or equal, greater than or equal. So does everybody understand an if statement, basically? Or if then else? Yeah. Okay. People were having problems back here because you guys weren't lined up. So everything's, in Python, everything has to be lined up, at least within an individual if statement. This has to be lined up, and I usually like to have this flush left with the left part of the screen, like no spaces at all. I just call that flush left. It's a word processing term, I guess. So all the way over, no spaces, all the way. So this one of the conditions could be number one is equal to number two. That could be one of my conditional expressions. Okay. Anything that evaluates, this is a Boolean, anything that evaluates to true or false can be put in there. Okay. So I've got 15 minutes. Let's see if we can, I don't know if we have enough time to do the group thing. I made it kind of hard. Let's see. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. See how good you guys are. Okay, let me share my laptop. Whoops. All right. So, group one. Fill in the missing code. Replace these 3 stars, so this is an if-then, in the following code with a statement that will print a message like, congratulations, your grade of 91 earns you an A in this class. Your statement should print the value stored in the variable grade. Okay? So you've got a little bit of code here, right? So I think you can figure out, you have to add 2 more lines to make this work. Group 2, write a Python script to display the diameter, circumference, and area of a circle with a radius of 2. Use the following formulas. R is radius, diameter is 2 times r, circumference is 2 times pi times r, and area is pi r squared, or use 3.14159 for the value of pi. So that's group 2. Group 3, write a script that calculates the squares and cubes of the numbers from 0 to 5. So you're not going to use a loop, just going to do it with 5 different statements. Print the resulting values in a table format. So your program should spit out this. Use the tab escape sequence to achieve the 3-column output. Does anybody remember what a tab, how to print out a tab? Remember what the escape character was? To escape? Anybody remember that? So this is the escape character. What was a tab? T. Right? So if I say, I've got 15 minutes. If I say print X followed by a tab, followed by Y, followed by another tab, followed by Z, that's going to print X, a tab, Y, a tab, and then Z. Okay, so that would achieve that. I'm just wondering if we have enough time to do this today. We got less than 15 minutes. Or we could just break the class into bigger groups and only do the first. We could just do the first 2 today. Yeah, why don't you break into your groups and just do like group 1 and 3, do this one. See, we're gonna have 5 groups, right? 1, 3, and 5, do number 1. 2 and 4, do this one. Because these are the easiest. Right? These are the easiest. Does that sound good? Can I erase this yet, or is good? All right. We got about 12 minutes. I think you guys can make it. All right, so this will be group 1. And I just erased one of the answers. Hopefully you got it. Okay, group 1 is here. And then, where's my eraser? And then this will be, I'm gonna leave the thing up there. And we'll break, this will be group 2 and 3. It's not that, the first problem is not that hard. You just have to add basically 2 lines. So this will be group 2, group 3, 4 and 5. So
the first
1,
Yeah,
3, and
Did you
5,
just add a print?
2 and 4.
Else.
So you'd be doing the same
Okay,
thing.
you added an else too.
5,
Yeah.
2, and 4, do that. Okay.
But Abigail is about to blow the place up with 2 lines. So I'm thinking of number 2.
I think that's everybody.
maybe, yeah. Whatever.
Who does
Oh, let
number
me give
2
you
work
your
for?
Oh,
That was just an Austin Powers reference, it meant nothing.
Oh.
Right now I've defined radius and diameter and pi as variables. If you're interested. And I still need to define circumference.
Choose your color.
For pi, can you just write pi, or is it 2.14?
Well, I had to define pi first, and I'm just leaving it as 3.14 for now. I can make the number longer, and it'll just work the same way.
I wonder if there's like a library for pi.
Well, what's the formula again for circumference? It's gonna be radius times.
Oh, for circumference?
Yeah.
That's
Or,
2
no,
times
no.
pi times radius.
Oh,
okay.
you know, I didn't.
See if I can just do it like that.
Yeah. There you go.
So now,
Oh, I know. Control Z.
print. I'll just print pi
You can't
or
run
print circumference.
Okay.
But this has like no user input involved, and I still need parenthetical.
Let's save it to yeah.
It just went and printed 12.56. Is that correct?
12.56.
If we actually write the math problem out, or does it say the answer?
Or you go radius, you know,
Oh,
radius.
I didn't do squared. I just multiplied. What an idiot. All right.
Oh yeah.
How do I do square? Oh, it's gonna be radius times radius.
Yeah.
So radius times radius.
You gonna be a spokesperson again?
So once again, what's the formula in regular math?
You don't get it? Okay, what don't you get?
Pi times radius squared. It's just pi times radius squared.
Radius squared is okay, so yeah, radius times radius.
I got that, but I'm just trying to remember the whole formula, how it normally goes. Pi times radius squared.
Yeah,
Missing one
radius
thing.
squared.
So let's get rid of that times 2. Now I think I'll have the right answer for pi.
I know, those are hard to
I'll give
open.
an answer again.
Well, I think it's 1, 3, and
Oh,
5.
because the radius was 2. It allowed me to do that method that time. And I still got the same answer because 2 squared is the same as 2 times 2.
That's true.
So I was like, why the hell did I get the same? Who's group 2? You are. Let's see if I can contribute at all.
Say 91 in here. So congratulations, you graded 91.
Define radius, define diameter, which involve radius.
So this is the thing that's the expression, the second expression that's gonna evaluate the true or false. It's only gonna do this.
Just printed out the circumference.
So if I
Just
change
calculated
this
with all
to
this. But I think that made the formula correct.
Nothing, literally. How would you, what would you add if you wanted to say, sorry, you're graded, you did not earn an A?
Oh, can I answer that?
Try it. Well, let Micah do it.
Oh, somebody else want to do it? Okay, make sure you don't indate the else statement, because, don't get that. Also, yeah, you don't have to do a 5.
You have to do that. So else.
Diameter equals radius times 2.
Yeah. Check out the indent and then
What
write
is
the
that? Diameter is.
So indents gotta line up with.
Diameter is radius times 2. And then pi equals 3.14. You can go as long as you want. If you ask Abigail, it'll be way longer.
It's a good time to just condense
Circumference is pi times radius times radius.
Oh, shit,
If you want to go really far, we put like A, B,
Because I got my laptop because I had to me and
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to do every letter grade, you could do like, if grade is greater than or equal to 90, L if grade is greater than or equal to 80, L if greater than or equal to 70, you could do it the whole way.
Yeah, it's,
If you're writing it in
Whenever there's a
section,
semicolon, you have to indent the quote under it.
I only did that because I ran
Or
out
not
of
a
space.
semicolon, just a colon, right?
Let me double check.
Well, close because it's a variable.
Okay, yeah.
yeah, the fingerprint is when you express it goes to sleep.
My brother was actually talking about how MacBooks are a good program.
So,
I wasn't going for it. I don't like it. I just got it for my first year.
if we're doing live access online like this,
They are fast, but I'd rather have them.
and that's basically the same thing, but it
But the reason I don't like
So I didn't even do it here because I was referencing a variable and a string, since we're doing one string throughout this entire thing.
We could have those be manually input, but we don't have enough time.
I think it, yeah, because I kind of already saw it. I got it. Is your second semester up?
but this is my first. Let's say.
I knew a bit because I studied it back in high school. I just studied for fun.
I hope there's not another
I mean, I
poll
like
question.
So far, I like it. It's kind of like math.
I'm asking for more work. That's why like the 14-week classes, they go a bit more faster. How was your first semester?
It was good. It was good. I ended with 1B.